Okay, so I'll be brief. We have 20 minutes, as I said, to speak about something that has fascinated me all my life, which is why do we exist? And, I started off as a medical doctor. I'm an endocrinologist. I started with neurochemistry and then integrative medicine, and now what we call spirituality, which in one word means self-awareness and liberation from the conditioned mind. So what does AI have to do with it? If you go on the internet, and just looking at the time, if you go on the internet and you type out the following question, what are the 125 open questions in science? And invariably, what you'll find that the number one open question in science is, what's the universe made of? What is the universe made of? And you would think it's obvious. We know what the universe is made of. Atoms, molecules, force fields, electromagnetic fields, quantum fields, gravity. So why do we ask this question? The reason I ask this question is that 70% of the universe is non-atomic energy, which is called dark energy. And as we speak here, the universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. At this moment, the cosmic horizon is about almost 50 billion light years from where we are. So by the time the light gets from there to here, our solar system won't exist. It will have burnt itself into the heat death of absolute zero. So 70% of the energy in the universe is non-atomic, and we are made of atoms. We can only interact with atoms through light. And so whatever this energy is, it's not only unknown, it's probably unknowable. It's the opposite of gravity. That leaves about 30% of the universe remaining, of which 27% is another mysterious entity called dark matter, which is also not atomic, so we can't interact with it. We have no idea what it is. And so that leaves about 3% of the universe, which is atomic, of which 99.9999% is invisible interstellar dust. So we can't see it either. The visible universe, which is 2 trillion galaxies, 700 sextillion stars, which is 7 multiplied by 21 zeros, and uncountable trillions of planets. Right now, according to astrobiologists with the James Webb Telescope there, it's estimated that there might be 60 billion habitable planets in the Milky Way galaxy. Habitable in the way we are habitable, because you have to look at biosphere, gravity, cosmological constants, etc. So 60 billion habitable planets, and we are actually talking about this at our conference with astrobiologists, and multiply that by 2 trillion galaxies. Our planet Earth is not even 1 grain of sand. Our planet Earth is not even 1 grain of sand in all the beaches of the universe. Not 1 grain of sand. The problem with this model is that atoms are made of particles, quarks, all those, electrons, protons, muons, on and on, gluons. And when you're not observing particles, they disappear into mathematical space. So particles have units of mass and energy, and waves exist only as possibilities. So the question is then, what's the universe made of? The simplest answer you will get from scientists is it's made of nothing. It begins as a zero. So then why does it look like everything else? Why does it look like you and me and this microphone and rocks and stars and galaxies and the moon and bacteria and COVID? That's all part of the universe. So if the universe is made of nothing, how does it become everything. And that's called the hard problem of consciousness. You can look it up. I'm not making this up. Those are the two questions. What's the universe made of? Nothing. And the second question is, what's the biological basis of consciousness? Because without consciousness, we wouldn't know that we exist, or the universe would exist. So, I go to all these conferences where people talk about this, and there are astrobiologists and Nobel laureates and all these people looking at this. And I think the way they are posing the model, the question themselves is wrong. There's no hard problem of consciousness. In the Vedanta and Kashmir Shaivism and the great non-dual traditions of the world, Buddhism, Jainism, the universe is Brahman. And Brahman has no form. And because it's formless, it has no borders. As it is no borders, then it is infinite, spaceless, timeless, formless. Rabindranath Tagore made a great poem, said, in this playhouse of infinite forms, I became aware of the formless. Tagore, in this playhouse of infinite forms, I became aware of the formless, and so my life was blessed. So the mathematical formula for the universe is not E is equal to E mc squared. Notwithstanding it came from Einstein, the mathematical formula for the universe is 0 is equal to 1 is equal to infinity. 0 is Brahman. And the infinite is Brahmand, as Brahman appears, and it's 1. One formless consciousness that manifests as every form and phenomenon. I undertook this book, to write this book, which is available in 3 or 4 days, I think, is being released, because I realized that in order to explain these mysteries of the universe, although Sanskrit is the most beautiful language in the world, we need modern language. And that is the language of zeros and ones, the binary codes that create everything. The only difference between you and this microphone and this table and the moon is a different combination of zeros and ones. That's it. And they all emerge from a field that transcends 0 and 1. And that field is called Brahman. And if you read chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, the whole summary is there, with Lord Krishna says to Arjun, I am the field and I am the knower of the field. The field is Kshetra, and the knower of the field is Kshetragya. Okay, so digital technology is the latest technology in which we can express everything that humans have ever thought of. Everything that humans have ever thought of. So about 40,000 years ago, if you read deep history, the human species, which is Homo sapiens, we are part of a larger family of what were called homonyms. So there were 8 different types of humans. Just like in the cat family, now that cat is becoming a popular meme in our political discourse here. In the cat family, you have cats and panthers and tigers and lions and cheetahs. So in the human family, we had 8 different types of humans. Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, Floroensis. And then at 40,000 years ago, there was a cognitive revolution, which means Homo sapiens, we, created a language for stories. We are familiar with stories, Mahabharata and Ramayana and all these great stories. But 40,000 years ago, Homo sapiens deviated from other animals. Other animals, including other humans, had a language of mating calls, danger calls, and food calls. That's how we survive. But then we created the language for stories, gossip, who's sleeping with whom, who can be trusted. And then we created another story, money. We had coins, we had shells, then we had paper, and now we have digital crypto. Digital. Money is digital now. Wall Street is digital now. Nation states are run by digital technology. Democracies are selected through digital influences. There is nothing that is not digital. Brahman and Brahman are digital codes for the manifestation of the universe. So, I went to Sam Altman, OpenAI, a while ago, and I said, we need to use AI to create a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. And we can do it through digital technology, because the entire history of humanity is stories, models. Religion is a story. Mythology is a story. Biology is a story. Mathematics is a story. There is nothing which is not modeled on narrative. That's the strength of being human. So as a person who makes a living selling words, I said, we have to go beyond ordinary narrative. The large language models of AI actually have access to the entire database of humanity. The entire database of humanity. You want to know what Plato was thinking? Go to ChatGPT. You want to know what Buddha's teachings were? Go to one of the AI networks. And it's only going to get better, because AI is going to already has led to VR, XR, extended reality, immersive experiences, augmented experiences. And the remarkable thing of this new technology, including blockchain and generative AI and what we call RAG models, retrieval augmented generation, all this is going to leapfrog human evolution in a way that has never been dreamed of before. No human being has access to this database. It's not conscious. Only consciousness is conscious. Only Atman, Brahman, and Jiva is conscious. Nothing else is conscious. But that consciousness, which is outside of space-time, is a digital workshop in the mind of Brahman. And what we see as the manifestation of that is the entire universe. It is conceived in consciousness, governed in consciousness, structured in consciousness, and comes into existence in consciousness. And this is a desperate need of our times. You watch the political discourse. I love what you're doing as entrepreneurs. I meet young entrepreneurs every day, and they are talking to me about their last exit. And I ask them, have you ever thought about your last exit, which is called death? Because death is stalking us right now. The only uncertainty is the method of execution and the length of reprieve. And if you're not conscious of your mortality, then you're living in Maya. You're living in an illusion. And everything that the VR experiences are creating for us, the metaverse, is the extension of Maya. And so this digital technology can actually help us understand the mechanics of Maya, the mechanics of how manifestation occurs. Not only our biological manifestation, but every species, everything that's in the universe is a digital code of zeros and ones in a digital workshop outside of space and time. That's the promise with which I wrote this book. But then I said, how can we make it practical? And digital Dharma, as you know, Dharma is the essence of our existence, 4 goals of life, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. But it all begins with Dharma. How can we tap into the unique Dharma of humankind by using digital technology and actually use digital technology to expand our self-awareness, to give us more insight, intuition, creativity, higher consciousness, and even moksha, liberation from suffering. Today's technology is there to help us do that. So digital Dharma is how to use technology for self-reflection, meditation, mindfulness, how to use technology as a research assistant, AI as a research assistant. It can help you do any kind of research you want. How can you use it for mental and physical well-being as a health coach? And more importantly, how can we train AI to be our digital guru, because there's no guru in the world who can compete with the sum total of gurus that have existed since the dawn of humanity. I'll just close by saying that TiE is an amazing organization because it's full of amazing geniuses, all from the Indus Valley, who have created not only Silicon Valley in California, but also the replicas of Silicon Valley all over the world, including Bangalore and many other places. And as people who come from India who are so well versed in mathematics and in digital technology, it is our responsibility to bring wisdom to the world. India's gift to the world has never been based on colonizing the world through military means. We have an expression, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the world is our family. And as Indian entrepreneurs, it's our dharma to help create a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthier, and joyful world. And if you don't do it, then we have not fulfilled our dharma as having come from the great Indus Valley. So I'll close there, and I also have a digital twin if you want to converse with me. It's called digitaldeepak.ai, and you don't have to download it. Just go on your browser. Ask any question about Vedanta, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, philosophy, health, well-being, and it doesn't hallucinate because it doesn't use other search engines. All the content is from me. So I'll see you in the digital world. Thank you very much.